If you're choosing between the AMD Ryzen 5 8400F and the Intel Core i5-14400F, you're not really choosing which one is faster in the abstract. You're choosing a direction for your whole build. One path is AMD's AM5 platform, DDR5 by default, and a very straightforward 6-core Zen 4 chip that keeps the tuning options open. The other path is Intel's hybrid design, more total cores and threads, and a platform that can be built cheaply with DDR4 or pushed with DDR5 depending on your board. That's the real story. Platform, workload shape, and what you want your PC to feel like day to day. Core design and real-world behavior. Let me explain the biggest structural difference in plain terms. The Ryzen 5 8400F is a conventional 6-core 12-thread CPU. All the cores are the same type, and performance tends to be predictable. If something scales across threads, you get a solid bump, and if it doesn't, you're mostly looking at per-core speed and latency. The Core i5-14400F, by contrast, uses Intel's split personality setup. You get a set of high-performance P cores and a smaller set of E cores meant for background work and extra throughput. In practice, that often helps with the messy reality of modern computing. You might be gaming while Discord, a browser with too many tabs, a download, and some recording software are all awake. The scheduler has more places to put that extra work, and the system can feel calmer under multitasking pressure. That said, hybrid designs also mean workload shape matters more. Some apps love the extra total cores, some don't care, and a few behave weirdly if their thread scheduling isn't great. Most mainstream software is fine now, but it's still worth understanding why one CPU might feel better in a do-everything-at-once setup. Multi-core performance. Who wins when it gets heavy? If your life includes sustained multi-threaded workloads like video exporting, 3D rendering, big code compiles, or heavy compression tasks, the i5-14400F usually has the advantage on paper because it has more total cores and more threads to throw at the job. That tends to show up as shorter completion times when the workload scales well. The Ryzen 5 8400F can still do those jobs competently, and for moderate projects it's not going to feel weak. But when you start stacking long renders or batch exports, the extra core resources on the Intel side are hard to ignore. It's not about brand, it's just math and scheduling. More workers, more output, assuming the work can be split. Now, a crucial nuance. Multi-core wins aren't always free. They can come with higher peak power draw, more heat, and louder fans if your cooler is average. If you're building a quiet PC or a compact case, the way a CPU behaves under long load is as important as the final score. Single core in gaming, what you actually notice. Gaming is often limited by the GPU, especially at 1440p and 4K, so CPU differences can shrink fast once you're not playing at very high FPS. Still, CPU choice matters for minimums, stutter control, and how well the system handles background tasks while the game is running. In broad terms, both of these CPUs are good enough for modern gaming with a mid-range to upper mid-range GPU. If you're pairing something like an RTX 4060-4070 tier or comparable AMD GPU, either chip can deliver a smooth experience in most titles if the rest of the build is sensible. Where the i5-14400F tends to feel strong is when you treat your gaming PC like a multitasking machine. Stream a little, keep voice chat and browser stuff alive, run game launchers and overlays. The extra total core resources help keep the system responsive. The Ryzen 5 8400F can also do that, but with fewer total cores, it has less headroom before things start competing for attention. If you're the kind of person who closes everything before launching a game and you just want clean, consistent performance, the Ryzen's simpler core layout is appealing. It's straightforward and tends to behave predictably across titles. Power, heat, and why motherboard settings change the answer. This part is easy to mess up because people talk as if 65 watts tells the whole story. It doesn't. Both chips are sold in a way that suggests mid-range power, but real power under load depends heavily on motherboard behavior and boost limits. The i5-14400F often runs with higher boost power under sustained load if the motherboard allows it, which many boards do by default. That can improve performance in heavy work, but it also means you should plan for decent cooling and a motherboard that doesn't throttle. If you use a basic cooler or a case with poor airflow, you might not get the performance you think you bought. The Ryzen 5 8400F is typically easier to cool in sustained workloads, and many builders find it simpler to keep quiet. That doesn't mean it's cold, just that the typical sustained power behavior is friendlier. If your priority is a quieter machine that still feels quick, that matters. Bottom line, don't buy either CPU assuming the stock number on the box equals real-world heat. Plan the cooler and case airflow first, then pick the chip. Memory and platform costs. DDR4 flexibility versus DDR5 commitment. Here's the money conversation most people avoid. The i5-14400F gives you a choice, DDR4 or DDR5 depending on the motherboard. That flexibility can reduce total build costs significantly if you already own good DDR4 or if DDR4 pricing is better where you live. It can also let you put more budget into the GPU, which for gaming is usually the smartest move. The Ryzen 5 8400F lives on AM5, which generally means DDR5. That pushes you into a newer memory ecosystem and often raises the entry cost, especially if DDR5 is still priced higher in your market. The flip side is that you're buying into AMD's current mainstream socket, and that can be valuable for upgrades. Many people choose AM5 not because it's cheaper today, but because it can be a cleaner upgrade path tomorrow. So ask yourself a blunt question. Are you trying to maximize performance per dollar this week? Or are you building a platform you can comfortably evolve over time? Overclocking and tuning. How much control you want. If you like to tinker, Ryzen CPUs typically offer friendly tuning options, and this chip family is generally associated with unlocked multipliers. That doesn't mean you'll get huge gains, but it does mean you can explore. You can tune memory, play with curve optimizer style undervolting on many Ryzen systems, and often improve thermals and noise without losing performance. With the i5-14400F, CPU overclocking isn't the point. Intel's K chips are the traditional overclocking path, and the 14400F is about plug and play, letting boost behavior and motherboard power settings do the work. You can still tune the system, especially memory and power limits, but the spirit is different. It's less, let's overclock, and more, let's set sane limits and get consistent performance. If you don't enjoy tinkering, Intel's approach can be calming. If you do enjoy it, AMD's ecosystem often feels more inviting. PCIe and connectivity. Don't overthink it, but check your board. At this tier, both platforms are perfectly adequate for current GPUs and typical NVMe storage. The bigger trap is assuming the CPU spec alone guarantees certain I/O features. A lot of what you get depends on the motherboard chipset and the board maker's lane allocation. If you're buying a fast NVMe drive and you care about having multiple M.2 slots, rear USB speed, Wi-Fi version, and enough fan headers, your motherboard choice may matter more than which of these two CPUs you pick. People overspend on the CPU and then buy a weak board that limits the build. Do the opposite. Pick the board like you mean it, then choose the CPU that fits your workload. Who should buy which one? Choose the Ryzen 5 8400F if you want AM5, you're okay committing to DDR5, you value a straightforward core layout, and you like the idea of tuning for efficiency and quiet performance. It's also a clean pick if you're thinking ahead to future AM5 CPU upgrades and you'd rather not rebuild your platform later. Choose the i5-14400F if your workloads are mixed and busy. You want extra multi-core throughput at this price class, and you like the option to build on DDR4 to keep costs down. It's a particularly good fit for people who treat their PC like a multitasking workstation, even when they call it a gaming PC. Bottom line, if you want the simplest long-term platform story, the Ryzen 5 8400F on AM5 is the tidy narrative. If you want the most practical multi-core muscle and flexible build cost, the i5-14400F is hard to argue with. Two quick questions so I can tailor the script even tighter. What GPU are you pairing it with? And is your priority more gaming, editing, or mixed multitasking?